Welcome to a new session on the course School Organization, Administration and Management. Today, we will have a discussion of a school timetable. In this session, we will have a discussion on the definitions of a timetable, the importance and principles of a good timetable. This also deals with different types of timetables. A timetable is in fact the second clock of the school, on the face of which are shown the hours of the day of schoolwork, the kind of activity for each class, the number and length of periods, the interval, the morning assembly, time for games, library and recreation, teacher-wise work allotment, etc. Definitions of timetable. In the works of H. G. Stead, it is a timetable that supplies the framework within which the work of the school proceeds. It is the instrument through which the purpose of the school is to function. In the words of Edmondson, the timetable is an outline of the day's work which indicates time of beginning and ending of school day, time of beginning and ending of each class period, activities period and homework period, subjects and activities offered, room in which class or activity is held, and time, length and number of intermissions. The school timetable is a methodical and pre-arranged scheme of studies and activities. It is an outline of the day's work which indicates the time of beginning and ending of school day, time of beginning and ending of each class period, activities period and homework period, subjects and activities offered, days on which each class and each activity meetings are held, name of teacher in charge of each class or activity, room in which class or activity meets, and time, length, month of intermissions. Importance of timetable. Timetable is a necessary instrument and document for the efficient working of a school. Let us now discuss one by one the main points of the importance of a school timetable. 1. It imparts system to the school. Without a timetable, the functioning of a school will be unsystematic. There will be a confusion, chaos and clash all around. There will be no program before the teachers and the students. Absence of a timetable will make it a free-for-all affair. Timetable assigns work, place and time for everything and for everybody. Second, it prevents wastage of time and energy. It makes proper distribution of time among the different activities at the school, instructional as well as non-instructional. It directs everybody's energy and attention to one thing at a time. The time is proportionately allotted and no part of it remains vacant to be wasted. The distribution of energy is also made in such a manner that maximum benefit is drawn out of it. Third, it ensures due attention to every subject or activity. Every subject and activity get its due share in the total duration available. No area gets neglected and no area gets undue amount of time. The importance and nature of subjects and activities can be kept in mind while making the allocation of time and place. Fourth, it ensures smooth and orderly working of the school. As we have discussed, it imparts system to the school. This system further ensures its smooth and orderly working. Everything is planned and notified in advance. The students know beforehand what they are going to read or do in different periods, and also the teachers who will meet them. Likewise, the teachers know their classes and come prepared with the lessons. There will be no scope for negligence of duty, duplication of effort, and repetition of items and activities. 5. It ensures efficiency. The timetable places proper person at proper places at the proper time and in the proper manner. There are no delays and no wastages. Sixth, it ensures equitable distribution of work among teachers. The timetable ensures equitable workload for the teachers. Any misdistribution can be detected and checked easily. No one can complain of too heavy work allotment and no one can enjoy too light allocation. Seventh, it ensures judicious allotment of work. The teachers are assigned only those subjects and activities in which they are fully equipped and interested. Eighth, it ensures regular and even progress. The timetable provides a regular time for all the subjects and activities according to their importance and difficulty. It leads to regular and balanced progress. There is no laxity and imbalance of work. 9. It develops moral and ethical values. It helps everybody to acquire habits of regularity and punctuality, steadiness of purpose, orderliness, and sense of responsibility. It develops a methodical, purposeful, and honest attitude towards work. This is a secret of success in education and life. 10th, it helps in maintaining discipline. It keeps the student gainfully busy in desirable activities. Student finds no time to loiter about. They do not remain idle to think and act in the wrong directions. When everybody is kept busy, there is no problem of indiscipline to arise. 11. It helps in adjusting the work according to the needs of the pupils. The work is planned and adjusted according to the physiological and psychological needs of the pupil. The questions of freshness of mind, fatigue, monotony, motivation, interests are given due consideration at the time of constructing a timetable. 12. It satisfies psychological considerations. Apart from satisfying the above mentioned needs of the pupil, the timetable gives a psychological orientation to the entire school program. It stimulates the students and teachers from the opening till the closing time. It gives them satisfaction about the purpose of schooling. The timetable ensures happiness and pleasure in learning. The changes from teacher to teacher, period to period, subject to subject, place to place, activity to activity are planned and adjusted in such a manner which brings motivation, relief, stimulation and urge to learn. 13. It necessitates advanced planning. This puts the teacher and students on the way to advance planning and preparation for various processes and activities. Now we shall discuss the principles of a good timetable. The timetable aims at achieving economy, convenience and uniformity. It is not an easy task to frame a good timetable. A number of considerations have to be taken into account in its construction. Therefore, it is a very complex task. Certain principles are to be kept in view while framing a timetable. The first is the type of school. There are various types of schools like elementary, secondary, rural, urban, boys, girls, etc., in which the facilities and activities differ. There are also single shift and double shift schools. The timetable will be framed in order to meet the typical needs and circumstances of the schools concerned. The same timetable cannot be thrust upon all types of schools. The double shift will call for shortening of the duration of school hours. Single teacher arrangement demands a special timetable which may enable one teacher to keep 4 or 5 different classes occupied. In secondary schools, the length of the periods can be longer than in elementary schools. In model schools, more provision has to be made for games and other activities. Second is departmental regulations. Usually, the State Department of Education issues direction for timetable construction. It fixes the length of the school year, the duration of the school day, the total number of periods per day and the number of periods per week for each subject. Also, the time for the morning assembly, recess and games is also fixed. It is obligatory on the schools to obey these regulations and maintain uniformity in the outline of the school timetable throughout the state. Third is the amount of time available. The allotment of time to different subjects and activities is to be done on the basis of the total time available. The State Department of Education fixes the school hours and the number of periods per day. Duration of each teaching period can be determined with the help of those regulations. The time for activities, games, etc. also has to be set apart out of the prescribed duration. Fourth is flexibility. The departmental regulations impose restrictions on the timetable. They introduce elements of uniformity and rigidity. But the timetable should be flexible enough to suit the changing needs and requirements of the pupil's environment, season and other internal school circumstances and latest trends of education. The timetable should make it possible for pupils to choose subjects or activities according to their aptitudes and interests. This is, however, not very easy to do. It demands unlimited facilities in respect of funds, staff and accommodation. At the same time, the practice of framing the timetable first and then fitting in the students in that rigidly laid pattern may be convenient for the department, but is educationally unsound. There should be scope for the local initiative, innovations and adjustments when the timetable is formulated. Fifth, relative importance and difficulty of subjects. Each subject has to be provided time in the timetable according to its importance, which is determined by the social, economic and cultural considerations as well as by the future needs of the students. The relative difficulty of the subjects is also an important consideration. Important subjects must get more time. Difficult subjects should be placed when the students are fresh. Sixth, welfare of teachers as well as students. The timetable should inspire and provide for closer and proper relationship between teachers and students. The general interests of both the groups should be kept in view and accommodated. 7. Some period for recreation. There should be periods for recreation like play and games, physical exercises, radio listening and other activities intervening between periods of serious study. The games period should fall in between the periods of heavy strain. Similarly, a mini recess should also be provided in addition to the usual recess. It may be fixed after every 2 or 3 periods in the morning. 8. Sufficient place for activities. Activities must find an important place in the timetable. 9. Suitable duration of period. Duration of period should suit the age of the pupils. Period of 35 minutes in summer and 45 minutes in winter for higher secondary school and 30 minutes for primary school will be quite justifiable for sustaining interest. 10. Coordination of efforts. The timetable should permit adequate coordination of teachers. It should give free hand for adopting modern methods of teaching. 11. Providing the most appropriate work for each teacher. In allotting work to teachers, care should be taken that each teacher is assigned those subjects which he or she is best qualified to teach. The teacher should be assigned the activities in which they have experience and interest and is not required to teach a large number of varied subjects. Teaching load should be almost evenly distributed. 12. Interesting programs. Interesting programs in the beginning and towards the end of school hours motivate children and fill them with an incentive to work enthusiastically and effectively. Similarly, during weekends also some interesting activities should be provided. 13. Variety. The timetable should introduce variety in the day's work to break the effect of fatigue and monotony. This can be ensured by change of subject, change of room, change of teacher, change of posture and change in the nature of activity. The difficult and easy subjects should be alternated with one another. The same teacher should not remain in the class for more than one period at a time. The venue of instruction should also be changed frequently as possible. Subjects of practical nature should alternate with subjects of difficult theoretical nature. Change of work is the best form of rest for both pupils and teachers. Children should not be kept for too long at a stretch at the same subject or type of subject which are high in fatigue causing power. It will be better not to have the same subject for consecutive periods, excepting however the practical subjects such as science, handwork, art, etc. 14. Staff, equipment and building. The timetable should ensure the best utilization of the resources of the school in respect of staff, equipment and building. It should not happen that a staff member is required to teach easy subjects in the morning and difficult subjects in the afternoon. Similarly, it should not happen that a particular room is lying vacant whereas the class is sitting outside for want of accommodation. Also, it should not happen that the science laboratory is idle for the whole day excepting the last 2 periods when a large number of students are crowded into it and they fail to do anything significant on account of shortage of space and equipment. 15. Provision for best room and equipment utilization. The number and size of classes and classrooms also affect the school timetable. In a school where 2 classes are held in the same room, the timetable should be drawn up in such a way that one class may do silent work and other may at the same time be engaged in vocal work such as reading. 16. Avoiding incidents of fatigue. The main consideration in timetable construction is the problem of fatigue among students. Fatigue is a physical matter and its evidences are weakening of attention and perception, unreadiness and inaccuracy of judgment, diminished power of insight, a loss of self-control and diminishing work rate. Children are more easily fatigued than grown-ups. It is for this reason that school day in their case should be shorter than in case of college students, or the same period should be kept as short as possible. As one gets easily tired in summer than in winter, the periods in summer should be shorter than in the winter. Certain subjects are more fatiguing than others. They involve heavier mental exertion, strain and effort. The best periods for fatiguing subjects are the second and third periods in the morning and second period after recess. The fatigue principles is true for the days of the week also. Tuesday and Wednesday are considered to be the best days in which maximum work could be accomplished. Monday is only the warming up day when pupils still carry the Sunday holiday feeling, and on Saturday they carry the feeling to enjoy the coming holiday. Children get fatigued at certain school hours or certain days in a week. 17. Variation to suit local conditions. The hours of work and the duration of recess may be marginally adjusted to suit local conditions. In a big school, a short recess of 30 minutes may not even enable the students to drink water from the tap because of rush. The need of the particular locality should be taken into consideration while adjusting the working hour and duration of summer vacation. A rural school may like to start its work a little late on account of long distances to be covered by the students. When students need to go to their homes for lunch in village areas, the duration of recess have to be increased. The arrival time for train may also be consideration for a small adjustment in the opening time of the school. 18. Equalizing class size. This consideration is necessitated when there are several divisions of the same class or when pupils are distributed into various original groups. The headmaster should see that these groups are of uniform size as far as possible. 19. Time for teachers' conference. Sometimes time should be provided in the school timetable for teachers' conferences for joint planning in the interest of pupil needs. 20. Free periods for teachers. Free periods should be given to the teachers so as to give them rest, enhance their efficiency, give them chance to refresh, enable them to attend to correction work and registration work. These free periods should be scattered all over the week. The language teachers need more free periods as they have to do a lot of correction work. The science and craft teachers who have to make necessary preparations for practical work should be kept free in the period immediately preceding the practical periods. On an average, a teacher should be provided 2 vacant periods each day. 21. Cooperative teaching. Provision for an opportunity for cooperative teaching in the integrated programs should be made available if and when teachers want it. Cooperative teaching implies that 2 or more teachers and their classes during the lengthened period may work together for 1 or several days. 22. Fluid and dynamic. Timetable should be fluid enough to allow variation within a broad frame whenever desired. So, there should be a period of various lengths from 30 minutes to 3 hours. Shorter period can prove useful for sectional meetings and assemblies, school recess, or even for revision lessons. 23. Continually revised. The timetable should never be accepted as a fact as all times. It should be examined critically in the light of particular factors operating in the school. Here we shall see the different types of timetable. A good timetable must be complete in every way. For efficient working of the school, it is desirable to have different timetables for different purposes and activities. It indicates the type of curricular and co-curricular activities being carried out in the school at a particular time and place. It may also indicate under whose supervision and guidance those activities are being carried out. But a single timetable may not convey the entire information satisfactorily. The first to discuss is the consolidated timetable. It is also known as general timetable or master timetable. It provides a complete picture of the entire school program from day to day. It can be very useful to the headmaster who depends only on this timetable. This timetable is suitable for all types of supervisory responsibilities. It indicates the details of the work of individual teachers. Different sheets may be used for the days in a week, or they may be prepared in comprehensive chart showing the program of all the working days. The second is a class timetable. Every class should have its own timetable which should indicate the distribution of subjects with teachers and assignment of classrooms for each period. It is a picture of class-wise programs. It shows what a particular class or section will study in a particular period from a particular teacher at a particular place. Third is a teacher's timetable. Teacher's timetable in consolidated form is very useful for the headmaster to carry out the supervisory duties. Every teacher may be provided with his or her own small strips containing all the subjects and classes he or she has to teach and the activities he or she has to look after. It should show the details of the academic and non-academic work. Fourth is the games timetable. It will show the allocation of time and place for games for each group or house, the games being played and the playground being utilized. For games cannot be organized based on section and classes. These are organized based on proficiency in games. Therefore, there is need and justification for timetable exclusively for games. Fifth is a co-curricular activities timetable. This will facilitate and systematize the organization of important co-curricular activities in a school. It will show the names of various activities, the names of teacher in charge, the place of meeting and duration, etc. Sixth is the homework timetable. In order to rationalize the load of homework, a timetable of these types will be very helpful. It will show the amount of homework to be submitted by each student in his or her subject for the concerned class during a week. Thus, the student will be saved from unnecessarily heavy burden of homework on certain occasions. It is also advisable to send a copy of homework timetable to parents to secure their cooperation in this direction. 7 is a vacant periods timetable. A special timetable showing the vacant periods of all the teachers may also be prepared. This is very helpful in keeping their classes occupied by allotting work when a teacher happens to be on leave. Let us now summarize what we have discussed in these segments. A timetable is an important aspect of planning. We need planning of things in order to be successful. Thus, preparation of time schedule for any work is actually planning the scheme of doing work. When timetable is worked out, the aims are fixed up and the scheme of doing it is prepared. The detail of working on the scheme is timetable. We have seen that a timetable is a necessary tool for the efficient working of a school. It is a methodical and a pre-arranged scheme of studies and activities. In these sessions, we discussed the importance of a timetable, the principles of a good timetable, and the various types of timetables in a school. A timetable ensures the most effective use of time at the disposal of the school by regulating the distribution of work. So, it is a very important element in the internal economy of the school, and it is indispensable from the point of view of pupils, teachers and principal. Thank you for watching this session on timetable. See you again with a new topic. Have a good day.